It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up, we'll see the dynamic Alvin Kamara. He should be a busy man out of the backfield. It's the Black Knights and the Orbits under the lights on Sunday night.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 18 carries, 84 yards.
Nice solid showing from him last week. Didn't blow the roof off with his numbers. He certainly had a quality day and produced when called upon.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, CD, you see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise and obviously hoping to get these guys back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these guys, they've been hearing the mantra, next man up, since their Friday night light games in high school. It's 3 simple words, but they're absolutely perfect to use, and everyone has adopted them. Next guy up, do your best.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Cook up the gut.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. This rushing attack sure looks pretty effective here on this opening drive.
Yeah, they're finding gaps with very little problem right now. If this is going to consistently be this way throughout the game, there's going to be some adjustments made on the defensive side of the ball.
He'll get that complete to Franklin.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
First down, here's the run with Cook.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
2nd and 6.
Burrow will throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Baker. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Now Burrow.
Complete to Likely.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Terry McLaurin His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Orbits' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we take a peek at the Oklahoma State product, their quarterback, Mason Rudolph.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Ed Oliver able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, the very first thing they told us, Charles, was we need to apply pressure early, and I would call that early pressure a nice sack to start the game.
And on the other sideline, I just have this image in my mind of the head coach on the headset with the offensive coordinator asking him if that's exactly what he saw in his mind when he called that play. And if so, is it going to be like this all day? That's a tough one right there. And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Shreds the tackle. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 13 carries, 92 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll make it 3rd down.
But you look at this defense.
Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down at 7.
Rudolph. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill. 44 yards.
And the Black Knights respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Moody good with the extra point.
And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Now 2nd and 3.
Now it's Burrow. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10.
From midfield now, Burrow.
Out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
The 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it?
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. These two teams all tied after one. And with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Burrow on play action. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on, because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now it's Burrow. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. And he lost the football. And he will at least be able to fall on it himself, but it was 4th down and the possession changes.
And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
His 5th rushing touchdown on the year, number 9 overall.
And his guys have taken the lead.
So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make, and it backfired on him in a big way.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey.
And that makes the score 14-7.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Black Knights offense led by their running back headed out for the second possession. And we give you a look there at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns. You can see he's second best amongst NFL running backs at this point in the season. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now Rudolph. And going deep for Hill. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
DJ Wadham
In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
James Cook running back out now.
He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
That's taken in by Franklin.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
11 yards there, 1st down.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Preston Smith in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Back to throw, Rudolph. And he can't escape open. Down he goes.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. James Cook running back out now.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 3.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Option play. Here's Cook. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Steps away to his left. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field as we eke closer and closer to intermission. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here's Rudolph. And they'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete.
And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
It's Hill, complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Rudolph throwing again. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel.
Burrow looking to pass. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. A short one there, caught by Likely. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. We saw some strong work from James Cook in that first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Here's Rudolph. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. DJ Wadham, his second sack of the night.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
How to approach this. Third down and 16 yards to go. Rudolph looking to throw it. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Danico Autry providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Orbits offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. He had the touchdown pass earlier, adding to his impressive season total as you take a look at the NFL leaders in touchdown passes at this point in the season. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. They're passing here. Joe Burrow slings this deep from McLaurin. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Forced out to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
That is caught, and they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This a 2nd and 8.
Burrow will throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will take it in for the touchdown. James Cook with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Orbits go up by 2 touchdowns.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Rudolph looking to throw.
That's complete. It's Travis Kelce.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now it's Rudolph. They complete it to Hill. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
A give to Kamara running right. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Rudolph now to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And his kick is absolutely perfect.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. Here's Burrow. He'll get that complete to Franklin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Again, it's Cook. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup. First down. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A nice pickup there, 10 yards.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Complete to Likely. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Burrow. And here he'll get it down to the 7. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Third and goal, Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the 4th. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Black Knights offense and the veteran Alvin Kamara getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 82 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. That one good for 14 yards. In motion left, that's Reed. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1 yard gain.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Rudolph. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Credit on that one defensively goes to Asante Samuel Jr.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Orlando takes back over on offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Cook again. Oh, good move. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 11 yards there, first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage. His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Baker. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. That's taken in by Franklin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, And he goes down.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal.
This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Now Rudolph gets this one to Hill. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 5.
Back to throw, Rudolph.
That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Orlando takes back over on offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
On the ground, it's Cook.
102 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run it again with Cook.
And he's got it down to the 28.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Left side, Cook. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
James Cook with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year.
as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and the lead is now 24. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was James Cook capping all of that off with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. Jaden Reed, 54 yards. And the Black Knights are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And it looks like the defense has got it. Here's 1st and 10. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. Here comes 2nd down. One last throw here for Rudolph. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating. Even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground, but both really started to come in sync. So for Orlando, they move back over 500 now at 4-3, and they'll get another road date next week.